And thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my partner in crime, my esteemed colleague. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Aric DiLalla.
Phil, happy to be back with you. Look how close these are on our beautiful faces. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I got a haircut this week.
I got one week last.
I said, hey, 0-2, I need to ditch the hair.
Oh, the Burrow.
We need to change it
the Joe
up.
Burrow.
Yeah, fresh. I'm ready to go. I'm locked in for this week.
I saw a meme that was like Joe Burrow after the Bengals' 7th consecutive loss. He just balled.
Jeez. Boy.
Funny.
Yeah. You know, I'm
I,
locked
of course,
in.
Respect Joe Burrow.
Of course.
For his football playing.
And general
ability,
awesomeness.
But his hair, mainly.
Yeah. We're
really
big
nice.
fans of hair on this show.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I got a cut. I was like, keep it nice and tight.
Yep.
Not just the hair, but I'm saying the camera.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I say get it tight.
Yeah. So. What do you get on the sides?
A 4.
Yeah.
Blend
That's
it in.
nice.
Blend it in. I said, you know how to do it.
You know exactly what to do.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Then
Maybe
they
you
do
get a
it.
1 for how many wins
For
we want the
one?
Broncos to have
Oh, got it. Yeah.
after this week.
Yeah. That's true.
Speaking of great hair,
this.
Phil.
Ben Swanson's in with us.
Ben Swanson's
Let's
here.
go.
I didn't realize I was part of the nice hair club.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of like a
I'm
tryout basis.
yeah. Honorary.
Just like the supervisor tryout.
It's kind of like, you know, when you give like a commencement speech and they kind of give you a degree. It's like it's not like a real degree.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they kind of just give you something.
Right.
Like a doctorate.
Like your degree?
You get like a doctorate.
Yeah.
Oh, you have an honorary doctorate in
Like
nice
a CU
hair.
degree, kind of.
Yeah.
That probably just upset a large portion of our
Yeah,
audience.
yeah.
I apologize.
Probably not
I apologize to everyone
Yeah.
but Phil. It was just a
Big
joke.
one this week. Coach Prime and those guys
That's
heading over
true.
to Eugene.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a big one. 1:30 kickoff. Mountain time.
My Gene, Eugene, our Gene.
Yeah. I knew something was coming.
Yeah.
Eugene, it's too easy.
Too easy?
You just set it up and you spike it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some spice going on there with Dan Lanning.
Oh, I know. Yeah, before the season, talking about
Smack.
conference realignment. He said, who cared if you left the Pac-12?
So what have they even done? Kind of
And,
like Swanson with his podcast.
Kind of made it personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's personal.
But Dion's
Personal.
Dion's kind of taking the high road here, though.
He's been good this week, I think. He knows how to do
he's
it.
like, yeah, Dan Lanning, great coach.
He knows how to do it.
But on Friday, they'll tweet out that video of them standing in a circle on the field, and we'll see what word they repeat this week.
Yeah. He's a master
It's
at this.
Oregon.
Yeah. I don't think
kids?
they'll just say Oregon.
You don't think so?
Not over and
Okay.
over. No, I don't think so. But who knows? It's the center of the college football world right
It
now.
is.
You know, so
Let's go Buffs. We all love our Buffs.
We love our Buffs.
We do.
We love our Buffs. What college did you go to? We don't talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. Yeah.
Kind of an honorary CU
Situation. Got it. There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Yeah. We got a nice show today.
Oh, yeah?
I'll tell you that. I don't know if you know this, Aric, but the Broncos are heading into Miami, their first road trip this season. Coincidentally, it's Miami's first home game this year. Yeah, it makes you think. But the Broncos will be facing one of our old friends, Bradley Chubb.
Yes. Friend of the show.
Huh?
Friend of the show?
Of course, yeah. We love Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
And then also another friend of ours,
Victor.
good old Victor Fangio.
We love Vic, too.
He's a defensive mastermind. Let's just say it.
mastermind.
That's how we put it.
In the coach's box and in the kitchen.
Oh, of course, the meatballs.
Those meatballs.
Yeah.
He's rolling them up here. He's rolling them down there.
COVID.
Secret.
Yeah. Yeah. We got an insight to all kinds of things.
Let's be
here.
clear. That's when we discovered the meatballs. Not there's no COVID in the meatballs.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
COVID.
We just got an insight in.
You're just saying COVID.
Yeah. Well, everybody remembers that video
That's true. Yeah.
from 2020.
But it's a secret
the year
recipe.
2020.
Secret recipe.
It is. And also,
We've never eaten them.
no, but a couple months from now, it'll be Thanksgiving. You and I will be getting mashed potatoes going. We'll have maybe some cranberry sauce, some dressing.
Yep.
He's going to have a side of pasta.
That's your lasting memory of
Those
my
two things are really-
relationship with Vic Fangio.
Yeah, that's the best.
when I asked him what his favorite side dish was for Thanksgiving, and he said pasta.
That's when it peaked.
It, of course, is a very special type of pasta, I think. He went on to explain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like some sort of family recipe. I think it was a very thin
Like a farfalle?
pasta. No, it was like some sort of special. I never even heard of it before.
Penne?
Spaghetti.
Linguine. No.
You're insulting my ancestors.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, maybe he'll be getting that
Pappardelle?
going. Yeah, exactly. It could be nice. With some turkey, could be nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Broncos are going up
A lot
against
of connections,
those guys.
not
yeah,
just
there's some
those
connection.
guys.
Mike McDaniel,
Mike McDaniel,
of course.
former ball boy, right?
Yeah. He went to my high school. I don't know if
He
I
shoved
don't
you
know
in a
if people
locker?
knew that. No, he didn't.
You shove him in a locker?
He was a similar size probably then too. Maybe even smaller.
What about you?
Yeah, I was always huge. I was born like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1.5 normal people size. Yeah. So
He's there. Butch Berry.
he's there. Butch Berry. Yep.
Eric Studesville.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Actually,
good
I
friend,
don't think
yeah.
from there it goes on, but from where we started, it went on.
PR guru Ann Nolan.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep. She's a former Broncos intern. So there's a lot of crossover. And so I'm sure a lot of those people that you just mentioned had this one circled on the calendar. When the schedule comes out, when you're celebrating, they're circling.
I circle too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Well, if you recall, in my schedule prediction that everyone clicks on, I think I thought that this would be the opener just because I thought it was like a kind of a fun matchup with the Vic, with the Bradley Chubb.
Yeah. That episode of the Neutral Zone, of course, is my homepage. So whenever I open up the internet, it starts playing.
Not the schedule, the schedule guess.
Click. Not the guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not that episode of the Neutral Zone. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Different.
Well, actually, 2 tabs open up, and then one
both
is
at the same time?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the audio is playing from the Neutral Zone, and I'm reading the predictions. So sort of what I do every day. I just revisit that.
That's fun.
Yeah. You thought this was going to be the opener. Yeah, it's a big matchup.
It's a fun
big matchup.
game.
It's a big matchup. So we'll talk about the matchup against those guys. We have an interview with Brandon Johnson.
No.
He's heading back home. The
Thanks,
Broncos
Swanson.
are going
You
on the
shouldn't
road.
have.
The Broncos are going on the road, but he's going home.
Back home?
How do you figure that?
Makes you think?
Makes you think.
How many tickets?
We'll talk. Well,
That's a classic.
yeah, how many tickets?
People love that one.
I didn't go that far. I wasn't like, tell me how many tickets, but I just said, you got a lot of people coming to the game? He said, yeah.
That's basically the same question.
But then afterward, a lot of the other media jumped in.
Oh, they jumped in?
Yeah. And they just kind of like, it's like when there's a wounded animal in the wild, and then I was just minding my business, doing my thing, and then all the other animals
Kind
came
of
over.
like a lion hyena situation where
Yes.
they wait their turn until you're done.
Correct.
Just kind of gnawing at the.
That's exactly
the
what happened.
wildebeest?
Yeah. Yes. There's a little meat left on the bone. They come over and get it.
Yeah.
I left them the tickets question.
They start laughing like a hyena.
Yeah. Circling. Yeah. Exactly. I was like, I'm done, guys. I'll see you later.
Are they more
I got what
hyenas
I
or
needed.
vultures? What do you say?
Hyena.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they still
I
got
think
the?
so. There's some jokes.
Yeah.
Some funniness. So we got that. And then I thought maybe we'd end the show talking a little about Tyreek Hill. You see any similarities there? Anything that appears in the film where you can make a potential comparison to somebody, I don't know, a Marvin Mims Jr. maybe?
Ooh.
Yeah, just say, hey, is there some similarities there? Maybe.
We're taking things slow here. We're not jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, we
after
don't want
one.
to jump to anything, just
After one good
jump
performance,
to
we're not-
conclusions.
yeah.
We don't want to do that. But we'll just say, hey, maybe is Tyreek a guy that Marvin could watch film on and be like, oh, I could incorporate this into my game? Are there some good crossovers there that maybe they'll take a look at something, and say, hey, these two guys could be similar?
Do you think Ben Swanson, like when we get to that part of the show, would be prepared with their heights, weights, and 40 times? Do you think he'd probably be
think so.
prepared with that?
Maybe.
At
We'll find
by that
out.
point in the show,
I would think he would be.
2.5 hours from now, he'll be
ready.
ready to go. Yeah.
We'll see.
Who's a good comparison for like a Ben Swanson? Like maybe like a.
Pablo Picasso?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Monet?
thinking.
You more of a
Van Gogh?
Monet or
Are you
Manet guy?
Yeah. What would you say?
I like Monet.
Oh.
Yeah, I like
Show me the Monet.
I like Monet too.
That's why we're all here, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
This is why they pay us the big bucks.
Yeah. after work, Swanson goes out into the parking lot and he says, "Van Gogh."
God, that's terrible.
No,
Pretty good.
I just try
I
to
like
keep
that.
it going. You
Yeah, I
know?
like
I
that.
don't know. I
Yeah.
got nothing else, of course.
Yeah.
But maybe. Yeah, no, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there with like a Bob Ross, but I don't know if I can. I don't know where it is. There's something in there.
something.
Yeah. So how does that sound?
That sounds really nice.
Okay. Well, before we get to that stuff, Eric, this is an interactive show.
Ooh.
Tell the people how they can get involved.
Well, Phil, there's many ways. You could leave a voicemail at 707-NEUTRAL. Play it right here on the air if we feel like it. You can leave an email at neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. I think our friend Tom Magnetti might have done one of those things recently.
Ooh.
You could tweet at us directly on Twitter at Aric DiLalla with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH. Both kind of non-traditional sorts of
Yes.
spellings.
Yes.
You could show up at Ben Swanson's home. Just kind of wait for him.
Yeah.
That's one. People have been doing
Get him.
that.
He walks out to the car. Boom.
Yeah.
Get him.
As he's loading the easel in his van and saying go, then
Yeah.
you just pop out and
Yeah.
you say hello.
Yep.
Or Phil, one of our favorite ways, you could go to the Broncos official YouTube channel, find the little neutral zone. It's the one with our faces. You click on it, you listen to it, you subscribe. Boop, 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 boop. And then you leave a comment, and we'll read it right here on the air right now.
Right now. Okay, this one is from Wambo to Jambo. Wambo to Jambo.
Okay, perfect.
Always so good.
Ben wasn't here this week. I know he's a bit of a bench warmer, but come on, man. Push for more snaps. You got to get out on the field.
Was this from Monday's show or
No, this was from
Thursday?
last Thursday's show. Yeah. We
Some-
keep the Thursdays together.
Tired asking if Drew Sanders will be on the field. Wired asking if Ben Swanson will be on the field.
Lot of Ben Swanson.
That's the way I like it.
This one, I legitimately don't know how to say it, but I think it's a group of bands. A group of bands.
Probably. That's probably right.
That's probably right. I believe this team will turn it around. We can't be giving up penalties like we did against the Raiders. Got to clean some stuff up.
Oh, this was before.
This was before
got
the
some
Washington game,
bad
but
news.
there were also some more penalties against Washington. So that is an area of focus for this
Yeah,
team
of
moving
course.
forward, right? They can't be having the penalties. Barry McCocken, 559.
559.
Phil and Eric will release Ben from their dungeon as soon as we get our first win. Anything for the win.
I escaped.
Yes, you got out. You got out. Dominic Namor Cavazos. He added the Namor now. It used to be just Dominic Cavazos.
Of course.
He's got too many. Maybe there's some imposters out there. They're
burners.
like, hey, they keep reading Dominic. I'm just going to put that as my name.
Yeah.
He says, something tells me they're not being truthful about Ben. D-line needs to wreak havoc for us to feel better about our squad. What do you think?
I like this. Just two completely.
Robbie Patzer, 5967. 5967. You guys are the best and hilarious. Even Ben Swanson grew on me. You guys are great.
There's been a kind of a
Even
renaissance
Ben
here.
Swanson.
A renaissance here for Ben Swanson.
Ben Swanson part of our
Benaissance.
a Benaissance. That's what era his paintings
in
are
favor.
for.
Renaissance
Yeah.
painter.
Yep. Cindy H303. Phil, I
Sydney?
don't. This is Cindy. Cindy,
Oh, not.
not Sid. Cindy.
Got it.
Who's Cindy? What? Phil, I don't have the answer to that. Me. Fact check Ben Swan. Oh, no. No Ben Swan. Fact check Ben Swan. Oh, no. He's not here. That's how she wrote it. That was nice.
That might have been one of those that's like
That's a
better to
good one.
read as opposed to like hear out
like
loud.
Phil says, oh, I don't have the answer to that. Let me get
Yeah,
fact check Ben's.
because he's not.
He's not
I
here.
see.
Sad face. Cousin Vinny 10. Cousin Vinny 10. Love these guys and the show, but half the show, they literally talk about random BS. We're here to talk and hear more about Broncos.
BS? That's me.
What do you think? Yeah,
Hitting up
BS,
Ben
Ben
Swanson.
Swanson. Yeah, they knew it.
You do
Renaissance.
spend
It's
a
just
lot
a lot of
of time.
And that was the last comment. So
You're not reading the Monday
a
one
group,
from
a group
after
of
the
bands.
game.
A group of bands. We're not reading the Mondays.
No, we don't do the Monday.
We don't do the Mondays.
We want the ones that are from before the game.
They're the funnier
They're the
ones.
funny ones.
They are
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
See, Monday show's a little serious. It's
Yeah.
like boom, 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 football, 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 football. Thursday
It's
show.
a boom boom show.
It's a boom. Of course, that's the boom boom show. That's when we talk about boom boom.
Thursday, bang bang.
Thursday's more of a bang bang sort of situation.
Yeah,
You understand?
I guess I was just thinking, well, if you read the comments from the Monday, you could answer some stuff about the game that the fans are asking.
Oh,
We already talked about the game
yeah,
on
we
Monday.
already talked about the last
But
game.
maybe they have leftover questions.
Okay, Swanson,
Yes.
we'll keep talking.
Yeah.
You look and
Let
see
me-
if there's anything good.
Yeah. You want to go
That's
back to the
okay.
dungeon?
That's okay. That's
Keep
Phil's
talking this
job.
way.
Look at Monday.
That's
Look
Phil's
at
job.
Monday.
Yeah, you go back to the dungeon. All right, let's get into our first topic here, talking about facing Bradley Chubb.
Swanson wants to talk about last week.
Oh, I thought that was just a joke.
No, I was also joking.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah. Facing Bradley Chubb, he has 1 sack this season. He has a forced fumble this
You want to
season.
talk about that Rams preseason game?
Yeah. Go back.
Phil's the one who's reading the old comments.
Go way
You want
back.
to talk about the Rams game?
Yeah.
Let's talk about
We had
2020.
a lot of comments.
What happened in 2020?
He just wants more Ben Swanson stuff. Jeez Louise. Bradley Chubb, a sack, a forced fumble. The Broncos coming off a game where they gave up 7 sacks, 9 sacks through the first 2 games. Eric, here's a nice little stat for you. That's the most sacks the Broncos have allowed in 2 games since 1983 when John Elway was a rookie.
Wow.
It's people want more football. There's a little something for you.
There's some football.
There's a little
There's a
something
really
for
negative
you.
football stat.
Well, I'll have more coming up that's positive. Very positive. Very positive. Well, hey, John Elway, it turned out all right, didn't it?
That's true.
Yeah, it turned out all right. That was my point, actually. So, and then Vic Fangio calling plays there. Those are just 2 key figures with the Dolphins. That's a loaded defense, a lot of talent there. It's going to be a tough challenge for the Broncos.
I think the thing with Vic Fangio is that, most notably, he doesn't give up the big play. As we saw in Denver, a Vic Fangio defense makes you work slowly down the field, makes you earn every yard, and it might bend a little bit. But the goal is that when you get to the red zone, where Vic's defenses are historically very good, they hold you to 3, or they hold you to nothing. And so that's going to be the challenge for this Denver offense, because we saw last week, obviously you had the Marvin Mims touchdown for 60 yards. You had some big plays. It's going to be hard to get those big plays against this Miami defense. But at the same time, I think against a potent offense like the Dolphins, you're going to have to put up some points to stay in this football game. And so you're going to have to take your chances and try to attack and maybe force the issue a little bit to stay in this game. And the one thing that is probably concerning is the sacks that the Broncos have given up. If you look, Danny Kelly, Phil, for The Ringer, he did an article that just came out about Russ and basically said that for as much criticism as Russ is still receiving nationally, if you look at his numbers, the start to this season looks exactly how his Seattle career looked.
Yeah, he this last game he threw for more than 300 yards and 3 touchdowns for the first time since 2020.
Right, and if you look at his yards per attempt and his yards per game and the touchdown to interception ratio,
5-1,
and all that sort of thing, he looks like he
He's back.
did in Seattle. Even if you take out the Hail Mary, still on pace for 34 touchdowns, that sort of thing. Like, he's playing well. The one thing that's up a little bit is his sack rate.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna say based on one game, because against the Raiders, obviously they protected pretty well.
Yeah.
Only 2 sacks.
Yeah.
I think you live with that.
You live with 2.
2 sacks a game over the season. It's not great,
No.
but it's not terrible.
That
Obviously,
was a good
7.
Washington front.
Yeah, that's probably the best front you're going to play all year, right? And so
Jets pretty good too, but
I'm not ready. Yeah, that's true. I'm not ready to say that he's going to get sacked 60 times this year, but certainly something as you go to Miami, you've got to be aware of. You got to keep him clean, because even away from the sacks that he took a lot of other hits too. And you got to keep Russ healthy.
Yeah, I think you look at last year, 55 sacks. That was the most in his career. Then now you come back through 2 weeks, 9. It's just something you want to keep an eye on. I was doing some R work in the locker room yesterday, Eric, on Wednesday, talking to Mike McGlinchey. I was like, hey, there's some new pieces to this offensive line. When you have a quarterback like Russ, he likes to move around. He likes to get out of the pocket a little bit. Does it take time for the offensive line to kind of know what that timer is like in your head for blocking, Because I think when you're blocking, you block, and then at a certain point you just say you got to stop. Otherwise, you're going to hold. You can't block forever. And he was like, no. He was like, I think we got a good feel with Russ. And that chemistry is already there. And he said, if anything, Russ moving around and stuff helps us, with him buying more time and everything. So he didn't think there was any sort of a disconnect between the offensive line and Russ. So I thought that was sort of an interesting point from Mike, just saying, look, we just got to be a little bit better as a unit.
Yeah. And that's going to be part of it, right, is the ability to protect Russ, avoid those negative plays. You got to avoid some of these offensive penalties. The Broncos right now, when you look at some of the advanced stats, right, like touchdown rate, the Broncos are first in the NFL in terms of the number of drives that ends in touchdowns. They're, I think they're the top in the league in points per drive. Those are good things, obviously, but you've got to find a way to not be so boom or bust, maybe, where, obviously the Broncos were great in that first quarter and a half against the Commanders, and then they went, I think, 5 of 6 drives without scoring. You've got to find a way to spread that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Have some more consistency, some sustained drives. They haven't had a lot of 3-and-outs, which is good because you're going to have to keep the defense off the field here in Miami, give them a chance to rest. If you get into a situation, Phil, where you go 3-and-out even a couple times and you let this Miami offense just kind of run its course, it's going to be tough to win the football game. The offense, I think, would be well served to play closer to maybe a Raiders style where you slow the game down a little bit. Shorten the game, lower the number of possessions, and you got to be efficient, right? If you do that, you can't punt the ball too many times. You can't settle for field goals. But that's the closer to like a New England, to what New England did this last week, where
against Miami,
right?
Yeah.
Where they were in it till the very end because they kind of slowed the game down,
made
some plays.
Yeah,
going to be hard to kind of beat these guys in a shootout, I would imagine, just based on how effective they've been.
Yeah, but it could turn into that. The Broncos, they've got some, guys on the back end of this defense that are haven't played a lot of football, I guess is the way you could say that. And they're going to be stressed this week, facing certainly Tyreek Hill, but then possibly even Jalen Waddle if he comes off of the concussion. So it's a big test this week, I think. One of the things that we're going to talk about on Broncos weekend, Eric, coming up, you can catch that right here on the YouTube channel Saturday mornings.
AM.
That's the morning.
Nice.
That's the morning time.
It is.
What does AM stand for? I forget. I always forget.
Swanson?
That's like something I'm always like, oh, I kind of know that. I look it up every once in a while, and then I forget. Anyway, we're talking about how one bad play, can't linger, for this Broncos offense, because in that first quarter and a half, really, they were rolling.
Yep.
We were seeing probably, as Russell Wilson put it, he was like, that's the best that we've played as a collective unit, like since he's been here. I would agree. I mean, they were rolling.
Yeah, of course.
And, if they can't let like a turnover, just sort of spoil that momentum and that, you got to have some resiliency, I think. And, I think if the Broncos are able to like overcome some of those things and be able to put it together for a full game, that's just going to be more touchdowns, Eric.
That's true.
If you think about it.
That's true.
If you just think, you talk about the touchdowns per drive, let's just get more drives.
Touchdowns per game.
Yeah, a lot of touchdowns per game. You want to lead the league in
Points
that
per
one.
game.
Points per game. That's what you want to lead in.
I do think this offense, if it does become a shootout, they have the ability to keep up and score a lot of points. We've seen the explosiveness. We've seen how efficient they can be, that they've done it in a couple of different ways. This is a good offense. And I know that week 1 only scored 16 points, but it was kind of a weird game. I think last week it showed what this team can do in bursts. Now you've got to find a way to do it more consistently. But, Phil, that's kind of the exciting thing is that this is a good Dolphins team. You're going on the road. You imagine it's going to be a really hard game.
Hot.
heat is heat.
Heat is heat.
When you have an offense that can score points and score quickly, you're going to be in a lot of games,
Yep.
right? And so even if you fall behind, previously, dating back to maybe like 2017, even 16, maybe even 15.
Harder to bounce back in.
If you fall down by 10, you don't feel
harder.
great about your ability to come back.
It's a grind.
This offense, I feel like, as we saw against Washington,
They
you
can do it.
get down, you can be down late, and
50 yards,
still,
one play.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, touchdown.
You have the ability to get back in it. So I would imagine it'll be a game of runs. Certainly against that offense, even if you go up a touchdown, 10 points, 14 points, you can't feel safe, I don't think, against that team. I mean,
No.
they haven't done it as long or as successfully as Kansas City, but you kind of feel
They can be like that.
Yeah, when they're rolling, they have an offense that is as good as any, and so
Yep.
it could be a track meet
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah. There's definitely, as an offense, you're going to be watching what the other offense is doing, and that's going to dictate, the flow of the game. So you kind of got to be aware of that.
Yeah, do you have to be, if you're Sean Payton, you have to be more aggressive on fourth down and say,
Yeah.
hey, it's 4th and 5 from the Miami 40? Do you say, hey, we got to go for this here?
Yeah.
Do you have to steal a possession somehow?
Yeah.
And, Phil, I know a lot of people are skeptical about the Broncos' chances in this one, especially
You're
externally.
not, but a lot of people are.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
No.
Externally.
But some
I
people
would
maybe
imagine
out there.
if you look at like the ESPN
Ooh, the predictions.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of horse heads.
Got it.
But this feels like remember a couple years
pick
ago
one up.
the Broncos went down to Dallas and nobody thought they were going to win. Explosive offense.
Yep.
And they just
Teddy B and the boys.
Timmy P.
Timmy P.
They
Big one.
had a big upset.
Yeah.
Obviously the Broncos
This could be
are touchdown underdogs.
Dogs. L's and D's.
L's and D's.
Gotta head down there.
They're a D this week.
Yep.
Anything can happen in an NFL game.
That is true.
And with an offense that has the ability to score quickly, I think you're going to find that even games that maybe you're not feeling super optimistic about, the
And
Broncos are
enjoy-
still
you can
going to have a
do it. Yeah.
chance to get a win.
Yeah, and you'll feel like that. And I think anytime with Sean Payton,
Yeah, of
he
course.
can dial this thing up. He's got a little thing. I don't know if you've seen it, like on the sideline. It's like on his play sheet.
Yep.
You just turn the dial,
crank it up.
the plays change, and it's like
Now
kind of like
we're
a Harry
talking.
Potter type
I
of
got
thing.
it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Last point on the Broncos offense facing Miami here. A lot of people talking about running the football. How have you seen them use this trio? It seems like to start games, certainly it's been a lot of Javonte. They got the touchdown from Jaleel McLaughlin, his first career touchdown there. And then it seems like as the game goes on, it's a lot more Samaje. You agree with that? Is that what you've seen? And you think, is that something that they'll be doing moving forward?
Yeah, I agree with your assessment, just like observationally. I'm not sure that I think that
There's like a
it's
reason
just
for that.
It's just a
sort of how it
small
happens.
sample
Yeah.
size.
2.
At this point, and obviously you only get so many opportunities,
17.
so they all
You
matter.
get 17.
But I'm not sure that Sean Payton was asked about that, especially the run game in the second half. He said a lot of different things kind of dictate that when you run the ball. Certainly, the Broncos I think would benefit from getting a little more from Javonte in second halves, but it doesn't. It's hard to say after 2 games that it's like, oh, Javante's definitely going to be the guy in the first half, and then you lean on Samaje late.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that's just been like something we've seen over the first 2 games. And if you read the comments, which this shows a lot about comments, but if you read from different platforms, and I think it's understandable, fans get excited when you see Jaleel, when he touches the ball, boom, there's like an explosive thing there. Maybe you're wondering, hey, why don't we see a little more of Jaleel? But you got 3 really good running backs, it seems like, for the Broncos here. So,
Yeah, if you're giving the ball to Jaleel, you got to take it away from Javonte or Samaje. And I'm sure, especially when a guy's a rookie, when they're young, when they're just getting started, you've got to have a set of plays that they're really good at and they know what they're doing. Because we saw in week 1, Broncos had a couple play designs for Jaleel McLaughlin, and neither one of them worked very well.
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, in week 2, his carry worked out much better. So you've got to. Listen, if you're giving the ball to Jaleel, you don't give it to Javonte, and then people are like, why isn't Javonte getting the ball?
Exactly.
If you throw it to Marvin a couple times and it works, people are going to be like, just keep throwing it to Marvin, then Jerry Jeudy doesn't get the ball, or Cortland Sutton. And so
Just throw it to all of them. Sometimes I think like that too, even.
Yeah.
I'm like, like Marvin, 60-yard touchdown.
do it again.
Let's do that. Let's keep doing that.
Yeah, you're like, do the same play.
Same one. That's
play.
short verbiage. Same.
Again.
Yeah. Boom. No wristband required.
True.
Yeah. All right. Well, one of those guys who had a nice hit 2 touchdowns, really, if you think about it.
That's
He had
fact
one-
check true.
Yeah. He had one early
had
in the
another
game.
one.
And then later in the game, he had a nice Hail Mary catch. Put that on the resume because you don't get a lot of them. Hail Mary touchdown catch.
Well, I mean, if it works, might as well keep doing it.
Keep doing it. We're talking, of course, about Brandon Johnson. I had a chance to catch up with him in the Broncos locker room this week, and here is that interview. All right, Brandon, you're heading home this weekend to face the Dolphins. Excited to play back where you're from?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited, man. It's been a dream of mine to play in that stadium, in some capacity. So it's definitely exciting.
You got to buy a lot of tickets, or what do you do there? How many people are coming to the game?
A lot, man, a lot. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, man. All the tickets I gotta take care of, and so it's kind of wild, but it's all good. It's all in good fun.
You grew up a Dolphins fan down there?
Yeah, I did grow up a Dolphins fan. So it'll be cool to be out there playing against them. Yeah.
So you're coming off the best game of your career, man. Like, first of all, take us through that Hail Mary. What did it feel like when that ball bounced up in the air?
Oh, it was awesome, man. When I saw it actually bounce, I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, go get it, And I was able to pull it in. So yeah, it was great.
We saw during training camp and, early this year, you guys have worked on those types of situations a lot in practice. Obviously, it paid off then. I mean, is that something that you guys had worked on?
Yeah, definitely. Coach doesn't do anything by accident, and Coach definitely, schemed that up as far as, like where we're supposed to be at on the field. Like everything is intentional. So it definitely wasn't an accident, and yeah, I was glad it was able to work out.
Where do you feel like you are, too? Because you had earlier touchdown in the game and stuff. Where are you at right now? You feel like you're just rolling now at this point, even though you're young?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, not really focused too much on, what happened or the future, just kind of trying to take it day by day and just controlling what I can control and contributing the way I can contribute to this team.
This week, obviously, you guys are going to have to put up a lot of points going up against the Dolphins, huh?
I believe so. But, I mean, at the same time, our defense will be prepared. They know what they're doing. And we're going to do our best on offense to put up the points necessary.
A lot of people are looking at these first 2 games, a lot of success in the first half, then it sort of tails off in the second half. What is it going to take for you guys to be able to play that complete game?
Just exactly that. I mean, just consistency. We're dialing it up. I believe we're gonna really turn it around this week.
All right, Brandon, I appreciate your time, and have fun back home, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Listen up, Denver Broncos fans. Paramount Plus is your streaming home to catch every local NFL on CBS game this season. Visit ParamountPlus.com to start your free trial and stream Russell Wilson and the boys as they battle the league's best. Plus, get an all-access pass to 24/7 NFL content with CBS Sports HQ, Fantasy Football Today, NFL Slime Time, and more. And this year, Paramount Plus is your streaming destination for Super Bowl 58. Another action-packed Broncos season with the NFL on CBS awaits. So stream Paramount Plus from any device all season long. All right, thanks to Brandon Johnson for spending some time chatting there. Of course, Brandon's father.
From Iowa?
Not Brandon from Iowa.
Oh,
That's
got a different
NZ.
one.
This is Brandon Johnson, Broncos,
Okay, sorry.
Broncos wide receiver.
I was listening.
His dad, of course, is a former MLB player.
That's right.
We didn't get into it on that interview, but he went on to talk about how he used to hang out in the clubhouse.
Why didn't you get into it in that interview?
I told you it was like hyenas.
Oh, got it.
It was like, it was
Is
like
a lion afraid of some hyenas?
not afraid, Eric. It was just saying, you know what? I'm sort of the king of the
Symbiosis.
jungle here. And, when I eat, I want everybody to be able to eat.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. And so I had to leave a little.
Yeah, that's fair.
I already explained this.
You're like, Brandon, I'm going to ask you about the locker room, but
Being
I
in the
won't.
locker room?
Yeah, but I won't, but
Yeah.
I'll let these guys do it.
You mean the clubhouse?
It's all kind of the same thing, right?
Ooh, I don't know. There might be some people listening who are like, a clubhouse is not a locker room. For some reason, baseball has very specific terms. It's a manager, not a coach. It's a clubhouse. It's not a locker room. What do you think about these
It's
things?
boring. It's not exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I do like the pitch clock,
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes the baseball end faster.
I do think, what would be nice
People
if
are like,
baseball.
man, it's great that this is done sooner.
I do think 7 innings could be nice.
Yeah.
Not many sports have it where in the 7th inning you gotta be like, get up and stretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of the tradition.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, here, you want to be excited? You keep score for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. You listen to the game on the radio in your seat.
Yeah.
That's part of the culture. A lot of people like that.
That's
A
true.
lot of people like it.
I like to show up to a baseball game like in the 3rd inning and then leave in the 7th inning. Just
really?
Get a few nice
You
innings.
do a hot dog?
Yeah, maybe you do a bevy, maybe you do a pretzel or something, and then you say, that's enough baseball.
What goes on the hot dog? What goes on it? What goes on your hot dog?
I like to do some ketchup, of course.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, as a Chicago native, that's kind of
You got to do
sacrilegious.
ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh, you do the
No,
ketchup.
In Chicago, they don't do ketchup.
Okay, you got it. You do the pickle.
I like
You
ketchup
do
and a
pickle
little
on the
bit
side
of
there?
onion.
Oh, really?
Like
Those
some
two.
raw onion.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Swanson, what do you do?
Ketchup and mustard.
Oh, okay. I do a mustard and a little relish, some onion. I do like some
You
onion
did the
in there.
same number of toppings as me, and you're like, huh?
I don't know.
You just
Ketchup
gotta.
and onion.
I do like a Chicago dog, like fully loaded like that. But it could be tricky at a ball game. It's a little too much.
I would much rather have a brat than a hot dog. I'm not a huge hot
Yes,
dog
of course.
fan.
No, of course.
Yeah.
If there's the option,
Elevate
you
it.
can try and
A nice
that's
Italian
superior.
sausage.
It's kind of like saying like I'd rather have a steak, but
Yeah.
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 The bratwurst to a hot dog, that's like
But all I have is this can of Spam.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A brat is significantly better. No doubt about it.
What do you think about at a baseball?
What podcast are we recording?
You do the peanuts?
Well, yeah, like a baseball game, they're just like throw your trash on the ground.
Yeah. There is something like people are spitting seeds
Yeah, exactly.
and
It's just
there's
kind of
shells of
disgusting.
peanuts and everywhere. Flip flops are a hard decision to
They're
go.
keeping
Yeah, you
score
don't
for
go-
themselves. They're trying to
Spin
get out of
seeds.
here as soon as possible, and they're just spitting on the floor. And
Yeah.
they're like, perfect, America's pastime.
Let me sign up to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it 162 times.
Yeah. Wow, we just alienated a
Where
huge portion.
Am I?
Yeah, huge portion.
I think if you're listening to the Neutral Zone, you're probably not a huge baseball fan.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Swanson, you got the AM?
Yes, I do. What a callback. It's from Latin.
Of course.
Of course it is. Anti-meridium. Yeah, I think I pronounced that right.
I think so.
Yeah,
Because
And what
AD
is-
means Anno Domini, right?
I think so.
Oh.
It's on a different
Unrelated,
it's
but I was
on a
just
different
showing you
wi-
that I knew something.
It's on
Yeah.
a different Wikipedia page.
What was that
so-
college again?
Go Buffs. And,
Nice.
and
And then
any good
the-
comments
and
for
then-
Monday?
Oh, he doesn't have them. Okay,
okay,
well,
well,
we're
too
moving
bad.
on. Our final topic on this week's show.
Really the second best one.
Well, would you say the interview was a second topic or no? Because some people might say
Oh,
that was
I
a
wouldn't say
second.
it's a topic.
Not a topic. Okay, fine.
Maybe the baseball was a second topic.
We're talking about Marvin Mims Jr. He had a coming out party. You saw, okay, this is understandable for the Broncos to move up, trade up into the second round and select the Oklahoma product.
Phil, if you were on a highway, would you say watching him is like a busy highway or like an open highway?
I would say it would be like kind of like the weekend,
Ooh.
not like this morning. A lot of
No.
traffic. If you do it on the
There's-
weekend, was there a lot of traffic this
Not
morning?
at 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And on my
Of course
way
not.
in.
Yeah, of course.
It was kind of empty.
Confused though because weren't you already here?
I just went to pick up my dry cleaning.
Oh,
They
yeah.
opened
What is
specially
it?
for me.
Thursday. Yeah.
They
That's
opened
right.
specially
Yeah.
for me
Got it. Yeah.
at 2:30.
At 2:30.
Yeah.
So you do the dentist, and then you go to the
morning dentist and
Got
then
it.
dry cleaning, back
and
to
then
work.
Back to work.
Marvin Mims style.
Makes sense. Driving on the weekend, what's wide open?
wide
open. And, I look across on the other team here with the Dolphins, and there's a guy named Tyreek Hill. 3 touchdowns this season, 255 yards. He's balling out already. Going to be a big test for this Broncos secondary. But I was wondering, you see any comparisons between Mr. Mims and Mr. Hill?
Well, I mean, listen, Tyreek Hill is an incredible
He's
player.
established. Obviously, Mims is a rookie.
He's a future Hall of Famer, right?
We call them Hoffs.
He's a future Hoff. I think that it's unfair to Marvin to compare him to Tyreek just because Tyreek does so many things well. And in addition to his speed, he's tough, great blocker, good football IQ, all those sorts of things. From a purely speed standpoint and maybe early Tyreek, like the first couple of years, like when he was returning punts and more of that just deep ball type guy, maybe there's some similarities there just in terms of what speed can do for an offense. I think Marvin, listen, Phil, speed only matters if you catch the ball at the end, right? And
exactly.
If you consistently challenge the defense. That was what I was most impressed about. The first one, the 60-yarder, I think it was a pretty easy
right in the bucket.
Pitch and catch there. But the second one, down the sideline, you got a defender there.
Yeah.
A little more degree of difficulty there. And for him to haul that in, then show off the speed on the 45-yard punt return, that was impressive. And the Broncos have had fast guys on this roster the last few years. An Isaiah McKenzie, Montreal Washington, a KJ Hamler. Those guys were fast and at times made an impact. But I think that you still have to consistently challenge a defense and do enough that they respect you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you just run down the field and you never get the ball, not going to make a big difference. But if the Dolphins look and Vic Fangio looks at Marvin Mims as a threat based on what he did last week, which I would think they should, you're going to say, okay, we got to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to show him some more respect. Maybe that allows the running game to get going, and he becomes a guy that you might have to start game planning against. And that's where maybe there's a similarity to Tyreek. I do think Marvin has the size. Like obviously Marvin's bigger than a KJ, for example. And Tyreek, for as fast as he is still
strong.
A strong, like upper body-wise, big dude.
Yep.
So what are their heights and weight comps?
Tyreek is 5'10", 185 pounds. And Marvin
solid. He's solid, dude.
Yeah, Marvin is 5'11", 182 pounds.
Similar.
Very
40
similar.
speeds, you got him or no?
Yeah, Tyreek didn't do the combine, so we just have a pro day.
Too fast.
His pro day
Were you there?
apparently, I was not there. 4.29 seconds.
4.29.
So, and Marvin was an official 4.38 at the combine.
Oh. I would say the thing with Marvin that Sean mentioned when they drafted him is that he doesn't necessarily have like the time speed, but does have
football speed
and game speed, and that
4.38 is still
it's still fast.
Yeah,
but like some guys, like a John Ross, for example, that guy
track speed
ran like a 4.2, right?
Track speed.
But then you put the pads on, it doesn't pan out.
Different.
Marvin with the pads on, he plays football fast, and it's he gets going. Like,
he's got good hands too.
Yeah. Off the line there, I'm not sure you were like, oh, he's going to burn this guy for a touchdown. But then you look up and it's like, oh, wow, he's 5 yards in front of him.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're a defender and you're backpedaling and you're waiting for a guy to get to you, they're used to flipping their hips and running with the guy, and you feel like you can catch up with them. Some guys have that gear where you've got to either start further back or you've got to flip your hips earlier and run, which then leaves you susceptible to a comeback route.
Yep.
Marvin showed the ability to get space on two kind of distinct play calls and give the Broncos two big plays. I think there was some sort of stat he was like the only Bronco in the past however long to have 2 receptions of 50 yards in a game.
I know that he's the first rookie wide receiver for the Broncos to have 100 yards plus since Jerry Jeudy in 2020.
Right.
So that's another little stat. I got a lot of stats today.
They haven't really had a rookie the last couple of years that would
Like it's
do
a
that,
stat.
right?
It's a sort of a stat.
Yeah, that's,
Like it
that's
is.
true.
It's something that's true. I think.
No Broncos cornerback drafted in the top 10 has had as many picks as Pat Surtain since 2021.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a stat.
Look, it's a stat. It's what you come
Numbers
here for.
don't lie.
They do not lie. But I'll say Sean Payton was asked about Tyreek Hill this week, and he was very complimentary.
Effusive.
He was. I think that he brought up two things that he said that he doesn't hear a lot of people talk about with Tyreek. And that was like his stamina. Yep. You know, like he said that like Tyreek will just like run down the field, come right back to the huddle, play after play after play after play. You know, people just talk about his speed, you know, but he said his stamina and then also his football knowledge. You know, just the leveraging the defense, knowing how to like just get open in space or understanding what his role is on a play. Like if he's a clear out guy, you know, like you got to respect Tyreek enough to. So his football knowledge and his stamina. Then there was a follow-up question about his strength, and he was like, look, if you look at the tape, he had a crackback block, and he just took a linebacker who's 250 pounds out of the play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous player, and if Marvin Mims can get to that point, that would be a great find for the Broncos. I think the thing about Hill that made him stand out early in his career was the way Andy Reid was using him. I mean, he put him in all kinds of different scenarios where he was able to make these big game-changing plays. And I think that Marvin Mims could potentially do something like that for Sean, where you're like, let's do this with him. Let's try this with him. Let's do this. You know, and he's returning punts. You know, like there's a lot of different ways that Mims can make an impact on a game.
Right. Well, and you think week one, the Broncos didn't hit on it, but there was that play where Mims is hidden in the backfield and kind of leaks out and could have had a walk-in touchdown. I mean, that's the sort of thing that, again, like you said, Andy Reid using Tyreek Hill, there's a lot of different ways to use him. You know, you were used to in Kansas City, and obviously I saw him there a lot more than I've seen him in Miami, but when Mahomes would extend plays, Tyreek is just so good at finding the spot in the defense and kind of working his way back to the quarterback, just like Kelsey is. Because Tua gets rid of the ball so quickly, I wonder kind of if that's, I would imagine that's not as big of a part of his game now.
Yeah.
But still, the speed, the intermediate routes, those guys, it feels like you've got them on a 3rd and 8 and you're going to be off the field and then boom, they make a big play. And they can do it at any moment. So you can't let yourself get lulled into this false sense of security. Yeah, he's a good
There's no
football
security
player.
out there when you're with him.
No.
But I would imagine that Mims watches a lot of Tyreek Hill film.
Surtain did a pretty nice job against Tyreek in the one time they've played.
Yeah. That's an interesting matchup for Surtain, right? Like Surtain, a big guy. Defensive back, obviously very fast. He's smooth, man.
I think he held him to 2 catches for 22 yards or something like that.
He had an interception too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that when Pat is out there, he's deceptively fast. Like, it doesn't look like he's moving that fast. Like, remember that pick 6 against
Just
Herbert?
doesn't panic, yeah.
When he picked it, he's just his stride is so smooth.
It helped
But
that
he's
there was
cooking.
no one near him.
He was going fast, but he didn't look like he was going that fast, is what I'm saying. When Tyreek's running, you're like, man, he's cooking.
That's
but
true.
when Pat's going, it's just like he's
like,
floating. Floats on the grass,
That's true.
you know?
No, the problem with the Dolphins is that they also have Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Who is, of course, good friends with
Pat
Mr.
Surtain.
PS2.
Pat said there'd be a little trash talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Because Pat doesn't really trash talk too much.
No, but that's his roommate.
Yeah.
That's his friend.
You got to.
Pal.
You got to.
Maybe his everything. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
You think they do a podcast together or no? I don't think so.
I don't think Jalen Waddle goes to
To the bar?
No, I don't think so.
He's not at the bar ever. Huh?
I don't think so.
Tuesdays, right? Is that what they do?
Wad
Waddle Wednesdays.
JW
Waddle.
Wednesdays? Jalen Wednesday? Yeah, I don't know what they
There's
do.
some, I think I
It's
forget how they
confusing.
do. I forget how they do it. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on these two guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Should we get to shout-outs?
Let's do it.
Eric, of course, shout out to Liz Gerald's.
Yeah.
A lot of good work in the community.
Lot of good
Always
work.
going. It really never stops. Any other shout-outs that you'd like to
We shouted him out
Anybody?
earlier, but shout out to our Colorado Buffaloes.
Coach Prime?
3-0.
Yeah, now it's
Looking for 4-0.
TCU is a big one on the road. You know, come back home, you beat 2 rivals. But now the level of play is this Oregon team is going to be the best team they've played so far. So
You know the best thing about you think they're better than TCU?
yeah,
You know the best thing about being 3-0, Phil?
the best thing about it.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that?
It's a chance to get to 4-0.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You have the chance. Well, sometimes some people say, "What's better than being 3-0, 4-0?"
That's not what I
Some
said.
people
That's not
say
what I
that.
said.
I don't say that. I say what you say.
You're right.
What's the best part about being 3-0? You have
Right.
the opportunity to continue on
4-0,
to
yeah.
4-0. Yeah, Coach Prime, he's got those guys rolling.
Yeah. If they win this weekend, Phil,
The Buffs.
probably top 10, right?
Oh,
If you go to Oregon and you win, probably be 10th in the. I mean,
they went down one spot in the rankings this week.
they're
I think
18, right?
I think they're 18 now. Yeah.
You would
18 or
gotta
19.
think they'd get a
19.
big
19.
jump. Big jump if you win.
If you
a
go on the
game
road to
against a top,
Autzen, that's a tough place to
top
play.
10
Oregon's
victory on the
currently
road.
10th.
Yeah.
Do you think CU fans will find a way to storm the field in Eugene?
Do you think Lil Wayne will be there?
Maybe.
I don't know. The Rock?
Gosh.
I don't know. I'm not sure
If
if
they beat Oregon, Barack Obama might be at the USC game. I mean,
Really?
just like that. I feel like that's where
that's the biggest name.
Yeah.
You drop that and boom.
Yeah.
That is true. You can call him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think Coach Prime has President Obama's
I
phone
would
number?
think so.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, he's a fan of sport.
He is, of course.
Yeah.
That would be insane. Maybe he's in the
If
locker
we haven't
room.
alienated people going political, probably just
Maybe he's handing out game balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-game speech.
Pre-game speech. Yeah.
I mean, you can't rule anything out, right?
You can't. No. I mean, anything is possible. When The Rock showed up, I was like, what is going on? I was like, this is insane. Apparently, he made like
Has Drake
millions
been
on
there
those
yet?
glasses.
Drake's gonna be
no,
there
yeah,
soon.
that's true. Yeah, he waits until the
Maybe,
Well,
maybe not
that'll be
President
the-
Obama. Maybe Drake.
Drake. Wow. Taylor Swift might be there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just
Taylor
let's
Swift
go
could be there?
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When are you going to do the pre-game speech?
Tom Cruise?
He doesn't call me Tom
Get
Cruise.
Tom Cruise out there?
Well, you know how I feel about Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise. He needs to get Tom Cruise. Let's just say that.
George Clooney in the, in
Yeah,
the locker
that's
room
true.
wearing the
Pretty
shades?
nice, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Tom Cruise could just jump out of an airplane right into the locker room.
yeah, that'd be cool.
A few times.
They just open the locker room,
It'd be
the
like-
ceiling. They open up the ceiling, and he's right in.
Because for CU, beating USC kind of feels like Mission Impossible, right?
Wow. Okay. I thought that you were on my side, but I
I'm
guess
just
not.
saying it's
I
never
guess not.
happened before, right?
Our buffs.
It's never
Our
happened.
buffs.
It's never
Yeah.
happened before.
Swanson, you have a shout out or anything? Like, you know, Van Gogh.
Mac Brown.
Oh,
Yeah, for our heels. Friend of the program.
he is a friend of the program.
He is a
I
friend
will
of
say
the
that. I
program.
will say that. Mac Brown isn't it?
He's got him sitting at
Is a
3-0.
That's true. You think Mac Brown gave Sam Howell a call after the game?
How?
How? I don't know.
Who
Yeah, it was
knows?
painful
I don't
for
want to
me.
think about that.
It
Yeah, I
was
don't want to think
painful
about
for
that.
me.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to get to
I don't
here?
think so.
Yeah. Light on the shout outs this week.
That's true.
Light
Shout
on
out
the
Wiz Gerald's.
Oh,
We already
how
did
about,
that. Do you listen?
And
how about
a guy?
for you guys? How about a shout out to the early road trip out to Miami?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I liked how Sean was like, "Oh, are we leaving on Friday?" It's like, yes. Everybody knows who's making that trip because they're making their plans. Famously, you're going to be out on South Beach. Everybody
Famously.
knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
I, of course, spent 6 months in Miami right before I came to Denver
Yeah.
back in the day.
It's kind of like your
Yeah.
Chick
Hang out with
Then
my
they
guy,
banished you.
Hang out with my guy, D. Wade.
Oh, yeah. Shaq?
Shaq was not there when I was
He
there.
was like, oh, God.
Chris Bosh, I think, was still there.
Chris Bosh?
Birdman.
Pat Riley.
Oh. They took that L in the finals this year. Let's go. Shout out Jokic.
What was the little guy from Tennessee? Josh Richardson.
I don't know.
He was there.
I
Ooh,
don't know.
I don't know.
nice
That
guy.
one. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Amari Stoudemire was on that team.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Goran Dragic.
Interesting.
That's my guy.
So are you, what's the suit going to look like for Sunday?
Linen.
You know what I mean?
Linen,
Bow
yeah.
tie.
Yeah.
Pink? Any pink
I think just
shirt
like a nice,
maybe?
like a light like cream.
Teal?
Maybe.
Oh, got it.
Teal.
Yeah.
That's a dolphin
Shirt,
color.
I'm saying. Oh, yeah,
Oh.
maybe don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink, maybe then. Shirt color I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, maybe like a light orange.
There you go.
White
Creamsicle.
linen cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
White linen suit,
Yeah, orange shirt.
orange shirt. Nice. Yeah. You jump across the hood of a car, you slide.
Exactly.
Right out, yeah.
Nowadays, it's hot out here.
It could be nice.
Yeah, that's
Can't
what people
wait to
sound
see.
like in Miami.
Yeah, that's not what they
know.
say.
Deep south.
But when
Yeah.
you're wearing the linen, you have to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
How many buttons do you do?
Oh,
None.
any? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you don't do any buttons.
One right above the belly button, I think. That's all you do. So I think that's all you do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
what you do.
goodness.
We're looking forward to the report on the postgame show. We're counting on it.
Like, Eric, oh my God.
The numbers will be amazing. Just people
Yeah,
tuning
they're
in.
like this
What does
spiked
he
right
look
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Big one for the Broncos.
Big one.
Big one for the Broncos. Could turn the whole narrative
You get one
around.
here, you're right back in it.
Everything will be different. So that's going to do it for us. For Ben Swanson, Aric DiLalla, I am Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.